Hi, boys and girls. We're continuing Miss Crup Cracks Me Up, Chapter 7, It's Alive. Miss Crup led us to a room with a sign over the door, and it said Alive. We went inside and saw lots of animals in cages. Snakes, tortoises, South African poisonous dart frogs. They were awesome. These animals, friends, help us teach people about conservation and the environment. Miss Crup told us they also help us learn to respect wildlife. Miss Crup led us on to another room that was really cool because there were butterflies all over the place. Look, a giant swallowtail, Miss Crup said, and there's a California dog face. We have 30 different species, and here the butterflies are free. Great, I said. I'll take 10 of them. That means they're free to fly wherever they want, Arlo, said Andrea, rolling her eyes. I knew that, I lied. Bummer. I thought they were giving away butterflies. Next, Miss Crup took us to the creepy critter room. She was all excited, running from cage to cage to tell us about the giant desert hairy scorpion and the funnel web spider and the velvet ant and the Mexican red-knee tarantula. They were gross but cool. I kept an eye on Mr. Docker to see if he was going to eat any of the bugs. 80% of the Earth's living creatures are insects, Miss Crup told us. So you're in good company, Arlo, Andrea said. I was going to say something mean back to Andrea, but I didn't get the chance because Mrs. Crup pulled this disgusting brown thing with wings out of a cage and held it up for us to see. It was about 4 inches long. This is General Muffin, she said. He's a very rare hissing cockroach from Madagascar. Wow, we all said, which is Mom upside down. Miss Crup told us that most cockroaches have 18 knees. They can live for a week after their head is cut off. What do they eat? Asked Emily. They eat girls named Emily, I said, and everybody laughed. Well, except Emily. Cockroaches will eat almost anything, Miss Crup said. General Muffin even likes to eat candy. Why is he called a hissing cockroach? Asked Andrea, who has to know everything. Because General Muffin can hiss by pushing air in a hole in his tummy, said Miss Crup. Make him hiss, we all chanted. Make him hiss. The general only hisses when he is disrupted or disturbed, said Mrs. Crup, but he is so used to being handled that he hardly ever hisses. Would anyone like to hold General Muffin? No way, we all shouted. Psst, AJ, Michael whispered, I dare you to hold the cockroach. Forget it, I said. I'm not touching that thing. AJ, if you don't hold the cockroach, it means you love Andrea. What? I said. I didn't see what holding a cockroach had to do with Andrea, except they were both gross. I sure didn't want to hold a disgusting cockroach, but I didn't want everyone to think I loved Andrea either. I was faced with the hardest decision of my life. If I didn't hold the cockroach, the guys would think I loved Andrea. But if I held the cockroach then, well, I would have to hold a disgusting cockroach. I couldn't decide what to do. I thought so hard that my brain hurt. I'll hold it, I finally said. Everybody cheered. Mrs. Crup told me to put my palm out flat, and then she placed General Muffin on it. Ugh, yuck. That was a giant hissing cockroach sitting on my hand. I thought I was going to throw up. And then, when the most amazing thing in the history of the world happened, General Muffin jumped off my hand. Chapter 8. We have a problem. Yeek! He's getting away! Run for your lives, said Neil the new kid. After General Muffin jumped off my hand, he ran under a table, so we lost sight of him. Everybody was yelling, screaming and freaking out. You should have been there. Now, look at what you've done, Arlo, shouted Andrea. I didn't do anything, I shouted back at her. Miss Crup pulled out her walkie-talkie. Chief, we have a problem, she shouted. General Muffin is missing. General Muffin is hissing, a voice replied. So what? Not hissing, Miss Crup said. Missing. We all hid in the corner while Miss Crup searched for General Muffin on her hands and knees. She couldn't find him anywhere. I don't like this place, Emily whimpered. I want to go home. For once, I agreed with her. I didn't want a missing hissing cockroach crawling up my leg. The grown-ups led us down the hall into the auditorium. We'll be safe in here, Ryan's mom told us. They're going to show us a video and we'll find General Muffin. We watched a video called Our Reptile Friends. We learned a lot of stuff about reptiles, like snakes can still hear even though they don't have ears, so be careful what you say around snakes. The video was pretty cool, but I still couldn't want to make friends with any reptiles. I was getting tired. Some of the other kids fell asleep in the middle of the video. When it was over, the grown-ups came back to get us. Did you catch General Muffin? We all asked. He's in a safe place, said Miss Crup. Phew, that was a relief. There's no way I'd be able to sleep knowing a giant hissing cockroach from Madagascar was running around. Miss Crup said the other grown-ups walked us back downstairs to the first floor. Our sleeping bags were spread out under the dinosaur, right next to the giant bear. It was kind of gonna be cool to sleep next to a bear and under a dinosaur, and the best part was we didn't have to brush our teeth. The grown-ups drank some coffee and talked about the weather for a few more minutes. Then they climbed into their sleeping bags, too. Good night, everybody, said Miss Clupp. I'll see you in the morning. Good night, we all said. I'm scared, said the crybaby Emily. Don't worry, Ryan's mom said. The dinosaur will protect you. I didn't see how something that had been dead for 95 million years was going to protect anybody, but that was Emily's problem. I climbed into my Batman sleeping bag. The floor was hard and cold, and I started to think about Batman. I wonder if he is the opposite of Batman is Man-Bat or Nab-Tab, or maybe the opposite of Batman is not Batman. I couldn't fall asleep. It was creepy looking up at the dinosaur in the dark. So I thought about the cool, dead, and alive animals we had seen. I thought about the secret room and wondered what was in it. Psst, Ryan, I whispered. Ryan didn't answer. He was asleep. Everybody was quiet. You could hear a pin drop in the museum. I think I was the only one who was still alive. That's when I heard it, a horrible noise. It was some kind of monster, and it was right near me. It sounded like a giant nocturnal man-eater, and it was about to eat me alive.